Welcome to Above and Beyond Affiliate Marketing. I am your host, Jason Ryland. Hey, I hope you guys had a wonderful Memorial weekend. We're back in business. Today in episode 7, we're gonna be talking about balancing your life. I know you've been waiting for this. We had a nice little break there, but we just want to say thank you to all the veterans out there, and thank you for all those who have are out there on the front lines. We pray for you, and we pray for those who have already had served our country. And because if it wasn't for those fighting for us, we wouldn't be here today. And here, I want to say that I'm rooting and fighting for you guys, for your successes, for your goals, and to reach your lifetime goals. So, in our quest to accomplish this, we're gonna kind of get into some thick of things. This is gonna be a wonderful show, and it's also one thing that you guys have to understand is just that we often fail to control our passion because we let things become overwhelming and it takes over our lifestyles, even our health at times. And at this point, whatever we're going to pursue will not become as important as your life. So, in other words, I think about this. In order to balance your life and achieve your goals, the other important aspects in your life, such as your health, your family, your friends, and leisure, in spite of everything, all day work and no play can make you just dull and make you sick, right? But setting these goals, why we're here, will give you the aspect that you want in your life to have that equally important factors that you have to set out to achieve, okay? You need to spend less time and effort, but then you also have to have progress so your work is not affected by everything else. So, the challenge is to have the balance for all of the factors, right? Because else we'll be too busy for everything. And then even we get so busy, it actually stops our positive progress in any part of our lives. And you know what? You want things to strengthen you. You want to create a further improvement of your life, and who doesn't, right? And we have to, so we actually, even though we're talking about stepping stones, we talk about building blocks, we talk about chunking, we talk about setting these goals for your future goals, we also have to think about how we're going to balance this complete out, right? This is going to be a wonderful show today because we're going to dive in to number 1. Okay, as we're balancing our lives and balancing our goals, number 1 thing that you guys have to understand is health is critical. You know, I have Crohn's disease. People wouldn't know it. They look, well, he looks pretty good. He looks pretty healthy. You know, you see Jason walk, and you see my wife and I, June, walk all the time, and you know, we're very active physically, but when health is absent, wisdom cannot reveal itself. This has to make sense to you guys, because fitness in itself, just being healthy, I'm not talking about you have to be some fitness expert or anything like that, but just being healthy can't manifest itself if you're making poor decisions with your uh, eating habits or whatever, because you have to have the strength to fight, right? Wealth becomes useless, and intelligence cannot be applied if you don't have the wisdom enough to control or balance those things. I know it sounds cliche. You heard it a lot of times, and it's easier. It's easier to be lazy than it is to do something that takes a little bit of action, right? Because repeated in multiple versions of quotes and everything else that you see out there, it kind of serves us to remind us that without our well-being, one simply cannot be productive at work. And I know you enjoy your love of your family and your friends, but your health is the most vital aspect that you cannot neglect, whatever age you're at. You know what? Even you get reckless in your 20s, you know, let's say you're 25, you're 27, or whatever, 24, and you kind of like, you know, the world's your oyster. You kind of have this, you just feel invincible about to everything, and you know, you want to do all these wonderful things that are unhealthy to your body, but yet, if we were smart enough back then, and if you're at that age now, you can say, man, when I'm 50, 60, 80 years old, I want to have I want to be active. I want to be able to be in the light of my life, and without battling health problems and stuff like that from what I did back then. Okay, enough of that. Because we want you to practice a healthy lifestyle to improve the quality of your life. That's why we're here. And that's what we can do to help people around us. Because this will not just increase your productivity, but it'll also prolong your life, right? Because a pill doesn't fix it, okay? However busy you are, whatever you tend to maintain a nourishing, healthy diet, exercise sufficiently, and please get enough rest. And I used to claim to be a self-induced insomniac because I was working, trying to meet my goals, stuff like that. And that was bad decision for my health. But it would be a waste of your efforts to achieve your lifetime goals if you're not healthy enough to enjoy them, right? You want to enjoy the sweetness of your victories, and you want to do that longer, right? We can't get to where we're going to go if we're just making these unhealthy choices, okay? Now, that goes right into family and friends, right? So, humans, I say that like something, that we're just social creatures, okay? So we cannot live without a single relationship with others. So every human is kind of socially dependent on one another to survive right from our birth. It all started with our relationship to our mothers and our fathers, especially our mothers who gives birth to us, and expands our network to our family members, and then friends as you grow up, and then of course lovers and relationships and marriages, so on. But how important is your social life? Okay, so we're gonna get into that right now, because one of the things is you can be socially healthy. My wife and I, we just love enjoying spending time with ourselves. We have nice property. We like spending time outside and walking and stuff like that. And we enjoy spending time with mind-like individuals as ourselves. So we like to involve ourselves with positive Christians, people from our church, people that are on the same mindset and the same uh, uh, wavelength as we are, and we just don't mess with the other stuff. Okay, so people are like, well, you don't have a huge amount of network of friends. We don't need to, because we have the ones that matter. Okay, that makes sense, guys. It's healthy, it's balanced, because it's equally important to have to be mentally and physically healthy, but then spending quality time with each other. We love hanging out with each other. We like spending time with each other, and that's kind of the also part of that whole social need. Because on average, whatever a person's age is, even after a long day of business or work, you don't go back to the TV. You should go back to that person and talk about your day. Even if you or my wife and I, even if we spent all day together, we can sit down at the end of the day and talk about what we liked about the day, what we thought was more important, what was less important, what we can give away, what can we get away. I mean, all these wonderful things. So, besides getting on our iPhones or electronic gadget, connect with each other and pay attention to another person's life that you're living right next to you. You're living life together. Let's act like it, okay? So, arrange a date. We arrange a date with your loved one. We do that. We have date night, okay? Take the children on a trip. We're gonna take our son on his first cruise, and we're excited about that. We discuss a topic with your church fellowship, okay? Talk about a voluntary work. There's always we always think of missionaries, but I gotta tell you that's right in your own backyard. Help somebody out. Help somebody on a food drive. Send a Christmas gift to somebody you just don't know in another country. We actually have our son every year. We put together a box and we send it to a kid in another country. Actually, we don't even know the child that will receive the gift, but we make sure that we do it, okay? Because it's the idea of just having this healthy balance benefits ourselves and keeps us from depression, our social isolation, that could also impact our health on a more serious level. But other than our social needs of being involved in a positive relationship, caters to our emotional need too, right? Because we have to surround ourselves with people who don't only understand our needs to love and be loved, but we also need to gain that social support to help us recover from those losses too, right? Because relationships and social networks, they always seem to work on a give and take basis, right? And if you're the only one taken and you're not given, that ends up being way out of balance, because you have to support the relationship that you're in. You're in a marriage, support it, because that's a privilege. Don't think about it like, well, she's married to me, he's married to me, you're married to each other, and you have to do this, you have to do that, because you receive and give as much attention to each other, and it's a privilege to do so, because God puts you on this earth in an effort to maintain those positive relationships with people, and that definitely includes your spouse. And kind of in conclusion to that, I definitely want to tell you, please surround yourselves with people who understand this, that encourage this, and supports that in your life. Because we have to work to share them to give our strength and inspirations to others. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here for you. That's why we have all those things for you to build and grow your business, your life, your relationship. This show can be used in many different forms. It's flexible, it's bendable. You can do whatever you want with it because it'll get you to the goals that you want to achieve for yourself. And there's also times where you're spending time alone. You're overworked and you're feeling that you've given all your time and to everyone else except yourself. And those symptoms that you kind of feel that, you can allocate some personal time to relieve that stress and to reflect on the main aspects of your life, because it's never complete without time with you and God. Because I think it's very healthy to spend time alone, but you also need to know how to be alone, and it's not defined by another person. One thing that I like to do when I spend time alone is actually it's right away in the morning. I spend time, I meditate, and I give back to God. I just calm myself, I calm my mind, I wake up and I give thanks. I'm breathing, and I only got today. So I want to be thankful in the moment, and I have that time. Okay? Now, a lot of successful people that are also passionate, you'll understand that I've done the research. They respect their personal time as well. And it has become their part of their time management, right? They spend their leisure time with different hobbies. Okay? The amount of time you spend with each of us, even in this show, varies, but the intentions are similar, because most of the time, this time when you're listening to the show, it's also a time to distress and to recover from the strains of how do I do that? How do I get to the next? What am I going to do? Because we're putting it together for you in order so you can perform your best when you're pursuing your goal. Okay? That's why you're here. That's why we're here for you. Because spending some time alone won't feel demotivated. Okay? We want you to continue to pursue your goals. In fact, some self-time allows us to be happy, and we can get invigorated for further challenges. And it's also an opportunity to reward yourself that you've achieved a goal. You met it. If you like to travel the world, take up a new hobby, whatever it is to expand your knowledge, and to get just to that point of learning something new can be relaxing. It's there's several other ways you can do to revitalize yourself, but that is all part of the whole balance, right? Now, you're gonna not like this one. Well, maybe you're gonna love it. I guess it depends on the person. But let's talk about balancing our finances. Money is not the root of all evil. That has been applied for so long, and I think it is wrong. Because even in the Bible, God says, God says, as is given, and the thing that we want to take away from that is just that God will always provide, for one. But there's one thing that we also have to know, that on earth, and God always knows that on earth, we have to have certain things in order to function and live. And God wants you to be healthy and wealthy and wise and all those things. But there's a function here, and that's could be a whole nother part of a different show. But It's an interesting note, though, because many of us finish our primary and secondary education without even being aware of the crucial aspect of what that means in our lives. Okay? Because only if you went to college, didn't go to college, it doesn't matter. We start to realize that we need financial control over our lives. And that seems to be the key to survival this day and age and within society, because you cannot do anything if you don't have the green, right? You don't have the money in order to do it, and possessing it is a good practice if you control your finances, okay? Because actual practicing your financial factor, whatever it is, whether money is in control or are you in control? After all, does it reflect? Money doesn't reflect your credit scores. It really doesn't. We've mismanaged that. We've mismanaged our credit. If somebody has given credit, we've abused stuff like that. Don't say it's not because of the money. I didn't have the money to pay that bill, or I didn't have the money, or whatever financial situation you find yourself in. We have to take ultimately accountability and responsibility for that. But that's going to lead us into the good habits. I have 10 habits that I live by that will help you guys out, okay? And write this down. I'm always asking you guys, write it down. If you don't have time now, you can listen to us at any time on your Alexa app, on your phones, podcast, wherever you're listening to this. Please take note of this, because number one, we're going to track income and expenses. So undoubtedly, this is kind of the fundamental step in any financial planning, and if you're going to control any of it, because on average, tracking income is not as complicated as tracking expenses, especially if there's sources of income are not many. Some people just work one job. Some of you guys work multiple jobs, but for a lot of us, we have one full-time job that we're going to every single day and stuff like that. We can track income, okay? We know how much is coming in. And by tracking the sources of income, you can also track your expenses that require from that income, right? So you're going to have discipline, and you're going to have to be consistent with it, with daily habits, by recording the amount of cash we spent. Even if it's $1.79 for a candy bar, track it, because that will keep you, first of all, it'll develop a good habit, but then it'll keep the credit card bills paid, right? Because then you'll know where you're throwing money away. Because keeping receipts of all your expenses, even if you have a loan out there, keep your tax records, and your online purchases, because one thing that online gives us, we get a receipt, we get an invoice, in our emails or whatever of what we just bought, and it's like, oh, it's on its way. We get shipping notifications, and we're excited for it to get here. But do we ever go, whatever I paid for takes away from something getting paid that needs to? Let's think about that, because you can get a better idea of your personal finance and how it can help you achieve your goals while reminding you to stay financially healthy by not spending more than your income. Every successful person today that financially successful, balanced there, and you don't have to have $10,000 a month to be really, really wealthy. You don't. If you put a certain amount aside every single month, you can build and build and build and build. You know what? When it came to me wanting to do some investments, I shall, even though that we were kind of struggling and we were kind of going through some things, I talked to my wife. I said, we're just gonna kind of keep shelling away, and it was based on 10% to the church, but then 10% home. So we kind of did a little bit of both, and if we couldn't do just the 10%, we did something, because it was more than nothing. Okay, and then by the end of 2 years, we're just like, we're starting to build on this, and our little investments are growing and growing and growing. And by the end of 3 years, all of a sudden we went from just putting a few $100 here, $50 there, 20 here, ended up, all of a sudden we were like, wow, we got some money in the bank, and we have something to do it. And we actually took our first cruise. And that's exciting, right? And you have to remember that that's healthy, okay? Be financially healthy. That's just good. Now, we're going to talk about prioritizing your allocations, because it's in the most, write that down, just write down priority allocations, because while it's kind of the most basic to suggest that we plan our budgets, there are definitely certain priorities to that, which we should actually prioritize our finances. And I see a lot of that not happening out there in the books today about balancing and budgeting and stuff like that. A lot of them don't really talk about prioritizing that, okay? Because you have to receive your paychecks at the end of the month, right? And your step will always to allocate these funds to the priorities that you set in line. Of course, you have to pay the rent, we got to pay the lights, we got to pay the gas, got to pay, all these things that have to happen, right? So you make sure that's already set in stone. If not, set it up on direct deposit, because therefore it's kind of, how much it's going to be, it's kind of set in stone, so on and so forth. So prior toward, and then groceries, things like that. Now, because, but you also will have to set some time for money for it to reach your passion, your goals for your financial future, right? So you have to prioritize your funds, in a savings, or in your education, in the children's education, retirement funds, other investments. You have to set this also as a step, as part of your budget, because you can work it out better, because then you'll know how to prepare for other necessities of life. Okay? That kind of leads us right into emergency funds, doesn't it? I'm telling you, other than insurances that can cover a certain amount of our losses, that's why we have car insurance, homeowners insurance, renter's insurance, all those other insurances, kind of life insurance, whatever, that kind of cover the amount of our losses, or because of accidents or whatever. But you have to make sure that you have put some away per month for emergencies only uses. Okay, the next time you go to you're in the Burger King or McDonald's drive-through, Wendy's, whatever your favorite drive-through is, if you are eating unhealthy, and we talk about healthy diet, stuff like that, but there's not a lot of I'm using this as an example. Um, Instead of doing that, say, you know what? It's gonna cost me it's $15-20 to even go through here. If I'm gonna be throwing this money away and living unhealthy, I can take that same amount of money and put it away in an emergency fund, and I can have a nice healthy home meal. Okay, and it keeps you in. It's gonna take practice. It's gonna take some time, but that means that you can utilize these funds that you have saved up, that you made poor choices with before, put them away instead of buying that 6-pack of beer or that pack of cigarettes. I mean, I don't know how much that I don't smoke nor drink, but I drive by or I go to a gas station and stuff like that, and I always see a sign up that this is on sale for $9 or $10. And like, that's a sale, so I can ruin my health on a sale? Great. You have to save yourself from that, for one, but then you also have to save up for your emergencies. And it should be no surprise to you that you can be quite predictable. It doesn't have to be in unpredictable circumstance like I have no money and my car broke down. Okay? You can predict if it has moving parts, it can break. Hey, whether it's your furnace or water heater, AC, whatever you have. Of course, I talk about vehicles because we use them. Majority of us use them to get to and from work and stuff like that. But do we have the funds necessary if something were to go wrong? It just might. It could happen. It's best to prepare. I'm gonna say this in kind of an analogy sort of way, but it's best to prepare with an umbrella than it is to just walk out in the rain. Okay? We know that if it's going to rain that day, we're going to take an umbrella with us. We're prepared. Okay? That's it. Okay, that's done. Okay? And this kind of leads us into number 4. Stay away from those high interest credit card things that those offers 32%, and you can have a $300 credit line, but they're going to take the first $75 of it. Stay away from it, because at some point in your life, it's going to be it's just going to be impossible to stay free from that, because you have to consider that it's actually kind of somebody giving you like a lowest amount of money loan with a high interest rate, and if you're not being able to pay that off immediately, that those interest rates are gonna eat you up. Before you know it, you're gonna owe more than what the card is, and some of you may be there right now, because paying way more than what you have borrowed will only increase your unnecessary expenses. So let's get that in our heads. Okay? Some creditors allow advanced repayments for us to finish repayment before the planned payment period. Remember this. Okay? And in this case, we might even save up on interest of the remaining payment period. Did you know, now that I know this in Minnesota, I don't know where you are in your state, but most loans, that if you pay interest in that month, let's say you pay your car payment, right? And you pay, and say your payment is $500 a month. And then they say, well, this much goes to interest, which is most of it, and then this goes to the actual portion of the loan itself. Now, if you were to make an additional payment towards your principal, they cannot charge you interest in that month. They can only charge you that much interest for that month. And if you already paid it and you pay your loan again, there it goes straight to the principal. Think about that. even if it's just another $20, you could use that too for that if that's something you're able to do. Okay, because staying debt free means gaining more income. Okay, because that also will increase your credit score, because it'll serve as an indicator of your healthy financial status to not only to yourself but to creditors, because a healthy credit score allows you to obtain things a little bit more easily in the future as well as you're building and growing your business, right? Or whatever, if something did go down, you would have the credit in order to be like to cover a major expense. If you didn't have that much money but you had a pretty decent credit score, you can say okay, and then they said, well, you can apply for this to cover these expenses, so on and so forth, right? Now that leads us into 5. We need to create a shopping list. Okay, no more impulsive buying, no more impulsive shopping. Got it? Because buying on impulse means unnecessary spending that will reduce the flexibilities of controlling your expenses if you're doing this. Okay, it will help you reduce spending on unnecessary things, and you'll have more control on spending on necessary items. Okay, you should not purchase any luxury items that you do not have the extra cash for, even if you want to. I know it's shiny, and I know it looks pretty, and all these wonderful things, but if it's not in your budget and you really don't need it, and it's not gonna be it's a luxury item. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting stuck here because it's really a passionate thing that I'm trying to tell you, because money left in your monthly budget, after all, will give you the financial success you're looking for. Settled. Done. Okay, we're going to move on. You need to control your impulsive shopping. It's best you write down the list of items you need to buy, and anything that's not on this list are considered unnecessary. Okay? You need to have long-term and those stepping stone goals that we talked about, those short-term goals, and you can save up for those luxury items. There's nothing wrong with having them, but only after. Okay? Only if you can afford them after. Get it? So that kind of leads us into the purchasing value. Okay, write that down. We would always tend to ensure our purchases somehow gives us value, and it doesn't happen. And there's like that buyer's remorse type thing. Oh, why did I buy that? So sometimes it's better to pay more for products that will effectively last longer than buying the cheap ones. It's simple as that. Because you have to constantly replace or repair those cheap things. Okay? You're like, oh, I can buy that, but it's cheap. Throw it away, I'll buy another one. If you save up and you afford the nicer things and it lasts longer, it's way more worth it in the long run. Same goes with clothes, guys. You know what? I know that t-shirt looked cool, this looked nice, whatever, they had a sale on that. But think about even clothing, the quality of clothing. You're just like, well, that's really expensive over there. Not if you're budget conscious, stuff like that. I love my t-shirts. Actually, right now during the show, I'm wearing something just really nice and stuff like that. That it cost a little bit more, but I've had it literally for the past 7-8 years, and I take care of it, stuff like that. It looks brand new, and it's the quality, right? Anyways, in contrast, not all products are better simply because they're more expensive either. Okay, prices of products are down to a multitude of factors, such as competition, consumer perception, quality of materials, cost methods, so on and so forth. We seek reviews from experts or YouTube videos or whatever to compare products from one to another, deciding what gives us the best value for our needs. And that's what you should just do. What's best value for what you're looking for, what your need is, not because you just want it or it looks shiny. Okay, let's get into investments now, guys. Write this down, because you have to allocate. We talked about this earlier. You're going to allocate some monthly incomes for certain investments, and that doesn't guarantee profit. And sometimes it's even wise investors plan for timely exits of their investments to avoid losses. In other words, we must possess sufficient knowledge at the right information to invest in any various financial instruments. Has to happen. Otherwise, we would suffer losses without being able to understand the reason why this is happening. On the other hand, we have to monitor our investment funds in order to avoid these losses, as well as seize the opportunities to gain more profit from our investments. And even securing a way to prevent these losses in your investments. You have to have an exit strategy for everything that you do, especially when you can foresee the circumstances. Dow Jones, whatever, crypto. I actually invest in crypto and stuff like that, and Bitcoin was we were anticipating it being at over 100,000. Look at it, you could get it today for 29,000. I mean, know where you're going with that. Now, I never was in that. I'm in crypto, but I never bought Bitcoin. I bought other things that padded my investment portfolio, and then there's we could do a whole nother show that I am not a crypto expert. I actually talk to other people, investors, stuff like that. Actually, I like to follow BitBoy on YouTube, stuff like that, for a lot of the stuff that I do, just to give me a more balanced thing. So, anyways. Now, we also think about retirement funds, okay? Because even if the government enforces laws for their employees and working citizens have to allocate retirement funds, sometimes that's not going to be enough to live comfortably, to live your life comfortably in retirement. Okay, we've all seen the elder senior citizen begging groceries. Okay, and if you're going to retire at an earlier age, you're going to have a good idea what you're going to have to prepare for these funds for you, your children, and everything. Because you could end up in poor financial status when you actually retire, because the government's not going to bail you out. Just don't even plan on Social Security, because that's not going to pay your bill. Got it? You have to have a retirement plan that is a long-term goal that determines how you're going to like to live your life when you do retire. So, on the contrary, struggling to have financial ability at retirement age means you have to delay retirement. You're going to have to work longer, and you're going to have a few more years underneath your belt in order to even get there. And some you end up working yourself right into the grave. Nobody wants that. Now, I don't mean to be morbid about it, but it's just true. Now, number 9, we're gonna go with a consistent raise here. Okay, we're gonna go from all that to having a consistent raise. Now, That's why you're either in business or doing affiliate marketing and stuff like that. I suppose you want that next big break, right? But you're going to put this in place and you're going to make these things work because you're going to give yourself a raise. Because once your income is raised, you're not going to forget that doing this, having savings, having your goals, meeting them, and doing all those investments for your future will give you proportionately that raise you're looking for. For instance, okay, now the rate of your savings per month is what, 20% of your monthly income? And if that's translated to $1,000, in the next year, your income, you could raise that by what, $6,000, and then based on that, you could continue those savings and you could put another 20% down and increase those savings. I don't know where your expenses are, but they're not increased in comparison with your income because you have to have that more flexibility when you're utilizing your money. I don't know if this is making any sense to you guys. Another way to put it, okay, so let's say you want to increase it from 20% to up, so you want to give yourself a raise and your investments. Now remember, we're doing 20% of, this is based on 20% of your putting stuff way into your investments, okay? Now you're going to give yourself a raise by putting an extra 5%. Now, even if you didn't get a raise from your job, okay, so we're going there. Even if you didn't get that raise, that promotion you're looking for, you're still going to do this, okay? Because now you're going to give yourself 5% raise to put in that investment to make you more money in the long run, okay? And that's going to lead us into our next 10th one. Now remember, I do this to this day, okay? This is the formula that I've studied, researched, I've done, and I've mimicked those that are multi-millionaires. I'm nowhere near that, but I'm mimicking those behaviors because that's kind of where I want to be, okay? So number 10 is analyze. You hear me all the time. Analyze. Analyze your financial condition to you can actually almost improvise your budget, okay? Let's talk about that, okay? Now, with all the necessary steps we've taken to manage your financial status, we're gonna what sometimes gets overlooked is the review of the financial performance on a particular time basis, right? We talk about time. The reviews of our financial statuses are usually carried out at the end of the year or the month. I break mine down and I kind of do it quarterly, but whatever your timing is, you'll see that your plans, which ones are executed well enough or not enough, whatever, to achieve your financial goal, okay? Because review helps you understand the effectiveness of what you're doing. Why do we have these stepping stone goals? Why do we have all that? Why do we have to have this balanced lifestyle, stuff like that? Because we're getting you to your ultimate goal, your financial future. We're talking about your legacy. I'm here for not only my legacy, but for yours as well, because this is going to build up to that, okay? You're going to have this, this will allow you to identify the problems and the room for improvement. Got it? Once you have finished reviewing this, you can proceed to figure out what you need to adjust, what you need to organize, what you need to replace, or what you need to fulfill more in your financial demands, right? For the following months or your future. Or even further in the future. Got it? So here is a rather optimistic example that I'm going to give you by improving and improvising your monthly budget. Okay, here we go. This month will be the last month you'll have to pay installments for your car. So as you used up 10% of your salary for monthly installments of your car, you'll have that amount extra cash you could utilize from the next month onward. So now what are you going to do with that extra cash? Are you going to increase your retirement funds? Are you going to invest in stocks? Are you going to run a side business? You're going to put it in your affiliate marketing? Or are you going to reward yourself? Having more or less money means you have to replan your budget. Nevertheless, there's always going to be room for improvement, even when your financial performance matches your or exceeds your targets. Got it? Analyze your financial status with your expectations, and it will provide you with so much more needed improvement. As you make more money, hope you become smarter and wiser with it. Got it? Because this is going to lead into your passion. That's why we're here. The affiliate marketing passion, our digital marketing passion. We want to help others succeed. We want to put that out there for you to your success. Because once you've achieved your financial goals, your business targets, and your family relationships, your family goals, whatever it is, more often than not, you're gonna forget where you were. And once you had it, and often you have to now contemplate that if it's already too late for you to chase after some more dreams, and that are not realistic. Okay? Let's develop a passion just for learning this, because if you do, you'll never cease to grow. Because the answer is it is better late than never. Okay? It is, guys. It's never too late. We should take every opportunity to fulfill our dreams. Regardless of your physical health or fitness conditions, whatever that allows you to be you, to do what you need to do to get things done, to have the passion, your passion can be very different from my goals and everything else, that's fine. But you have to set to achieve your goals, because it might not be related to your daily life or the people around you. But you have your goal in hindsight, and you have your passion, and I want to see you achieve it. Now, for instance, most of us would love to travel and explore the world. A lot of times it's a lack of time, a lack of money, and spending most of our life trying to create a better future for our family and ensuring the best education for our children. We would not have the sufficient energy levels for certain activities like extreme sports, skydiving, mountain climbing, motorsports racing. I don't do any of those things. Or contact sports like mixed martial arts or soccer or basketball. I don't miss much for myself, because my sufficient energy. I do this. I spend time with my lovely wife. I like to spend time with my daughter and son. We like to do family things. But you don't want to miss out on your exciting passion that you're doing now. Okay, you have to maintain those particular activities as your leisure time, but you also must manage your passion so it's not going to affect the balance of your other life aspects. Got it? There's a famous quote by Winston Churchill. I really like this because Winston Churchill is famous for saying, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." So true. Giving back to society is not merely an act of social responsibility, but we must understand that most of what we receive is indirectly given by the society and our environments. Kindness and generosity are the values we want for our next generation. We want our next generation to inherit this from us. We also wish that our children will understand that through these acts of generosity and kindness, we can improve the lives of people around us. That's why our show is here, to help you. Because keeping this aspect balanced ourselves in our life, and it ensures that our spirits are nourished by the meanings of our existence and expand beyond our own perception for those who receive this from us. Okay? After all, we can never define our own lives with only our own achievements. We must always justify the meaning of our achievements to the people around us too. Okay? That's why we give. We give to charity. We donate, help, we volunteer. That's why when you donate to our show, there's a button. You can donate to our show. Keeps the lights on. And thank you all for the donations we have received. But that helps us help others to get this message out there. Now, that's it. That's all for our show. It's a long show today. And tomorrow is actually episode 8. It's the final episode of we're going to put together a successful mindset. Okay? We're going to help condition this. Okay? Now, ultimately, the reality is that our own beliefs and mindsets are imposed by our society. So we're going to go through that. Please, may you forever be richer. This is Jason Ryland, your host for Above and Beyond Affiliate Marketing. Have a wonderful, wonderful day and enjoy that sunshine. You deserve it.